Last time I made a video, there's been quite a few updates. I thought I'd make another one before I revert it back to its original state. I've updated these. Previous video you would have seen this was like a triangle. Like that. And this was the belt holder and tensioner. Not bad, but not good enough. So I designed these blocks where the poles come right through, and there's holes here. Because eventually I'm going to put a bar from here to here, the same, so then it will hold it all square, and I might not even need the wood then, the base. So originally this was designed for a Dremel and a laser, but then the Dremel wasn't enough for me, so I decided to go for a router. As you've seen in a previous video, I mounted a router, and since that video I ran that on a belt, but I spent a good week or so figuring out all the problems and all the requirements needed to actually run a router on it, and the belt was causing too many problems. It was slipping too easy under torque. That's either due to my motor or the way this was running at the time. It wasn't amazing, and so I changed it to a lead screw, just a threaded rod as a test, and that solved all the problems that I had with torque and losing steps. So I was obviously losing steps due to torque on the router, and rather than keep on testing cutting squares and that, I made this box. So this is what I managed to achieve. With it mounted with a router on it. There is a lid which is there, but then you will also see the problems I did have as I was tweaking. See, the left grooves are a lot thinner than the right grooves. I was having a bit of wobble on this, which is why I've got the odd bit mounted here. And under here I'll have some ball bearings that rest against the frame. As it runs, it keeps it snug against the actual frame with bearings. And that solved that issue. But rather than keep on messing about with this, I decided I would design and build a new one for the actual router that's going to be stronger. So I'm reversing this back to its original form for a Dremel and laser, because I've now got a Dremel. Sorry, I already had a Dremel, I've now got a laser from optlasers.com, a PLH 3D 2W, which, as you can see, I've already made a 3D printed little mount for it. This is my temporary wiring just to get it running. Also, I had to put this piece of wood in before the belt run through the centre point. As soon as I added a router, I was getting a little bit of side wobble. It's not there now, but the top extrusion and the bottom extrusion would misalign as they was under torque. So I put this in, put a few screws through to keep it taut. That clamps there because I couldn't get a screw at the bottom without taking the whole thing off, and I couldn't be bothered. So that holds that there, and ever since that, it solved all the problems with the router. So I was having movement that way, it was causing issues, and a slight bit of that way. And then at the end of it, before I gave up and decided to reverse it, build a new one, I was just saying there's slight, literally ½ mm movement in the router, at the tip of the router. So I got there. It's just not the prettiest of things, and it would have worked suffice, as you can see. I built a box, a very good box. But now I'm reverting it back. So it will be a case of removing this motor again and lead screw, removing this piece of wood because with what I was using it for originally, it's not required. Going back to my 3D printed Z, different bearing rollers that I printed these ones different because it was under more torque, so I'll go back to all the original parts that got it moving, that just got it running on a belt, and then I'll mainly use it for the laser. In fact, since I've changed these, I haven't done a full test. So I've just chucked the wire motors in, and let's just should have 18 inches of travel on the Y of this side. I'll probably get to that little catch, but no, that's smooth. On to the next step.